Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle of great millstone, our teachers, and salutating to the icon that teaching the truth of the folk on the earth, risen their life week in, week out for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we got GMS Chicago camp.
GMS Cleveland, my brother Omar.
Shalom, come the idea.
And we just coming with another installment, man. With a man shall be more precious than fine gold. Like with the time that we living in, man, the Lord is systematically is destroying this place. And the more He destroy this place, hey, guess what? Our stock is rising. Hey, and the man of the Lord is gonna be precious in that day, man. Because hey, a lot of these people is gonna come look for hope. They're gonna want to know what's going on. And the man of the Lord is the only people that are gonna have the answers, man. See, if you know anything about history, what happened in the last ancient Egypt, man? Hey, Joseph was set up to be second command for Pharaoh, and they came for him for answers, man. Because of what? He had the wisdom and the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So how much more in the time that we living in when all hell breaking loose? Esau finna come down with great wrath. He finna try to intimate this mark of the beast, man. Hey, we gonna have the answers, what to do, how to renew, because the Lord is gonna protect us in that day. So,
I got you. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man, it says like even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right, and if you know about that gold Ophir, it was the gold that Solomon had when he was building the temple and all that, man. That was real fine gold.
I got it queued up for you too. I need to cut you off. This is from Bible Hub. All right, this is when you look at the word Ophir. It says, I'm gonna just read a little bit. It says the 11th in the order of the sons of Joktan. I'm gonna jump down. A seaport or region from which the Hebrews in the time of Solomon obtained gold. The gold was proverbial for its fineness, so that gold of earth or Ophir is several times used as an expression for fine gold.
That's right. And we've been like devaluated in America as men. A man can't even be a man in this place. Yeah. But hey, with everything that's going on, hey, that manly state, that godly state is about to come back, man. Yeah. Upon the earth. Yeah. Because the Lord is setting up His true man in the Lord, man. Yeah. And right in the side of Esau, right in the midst of these women that coincide with Esau, man, Eve and the serpent, man. And we gonna be the top dogs. The creme of the creme, man. And we can't wait because hey, it's rightly deserved, man. Hey, a man should be supposed to lead, man. Not a woman, man. And you're supposed to humble down. If you got anything.
I want to speak on that the golden of Ophir, because that said a lot, man. It's several times used as an expression for fine gold. So they look at, because gold already in itself is already precious, but they look at Ophir as like that's like the top notch. You know what I mean? Like it don't get no higher than Ophir, man. Because you among those metals and stuff like that, you have certain you take wood for example. You got mahogany wood, you got red oak, you got different types of wood, just like you got different type of gold, man. Yeah. All right, you got different type of silvers. So the Lord compared us to Ophir, man. All right, and that's like what the brother Menaki is saying. It's like Jake has been devalued, man. In particular, the Israelite man. You know what I mean? Because Ishmael and all them other men, they still have our women. They look to them as being like helps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But us, the Israelite man, we have totally been emasculated. You know what I mean? Just totally messed up, man. Devalued, man. Like people don't look at us. They just look at us as niggas, man. Yeah. That's what the scripture says. Give me real quick, Slock, y'all. Give me real quick one of y'all Sirach 40. Hit the first couple verses, man. Cause I just want to just get a quick precept on how like the scriptures is pretty much those curses are heavy on Jake, man. All right, but the Lord's gonna give us back that value that we once had, man. Cause in the ancient world we was looked at as like, yo, those the sons of God, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: how you devalue precious metals. You mix them with, you know what I'm saying, like for example, myrrh and iron. Mix it with murray clay. So that's how we got the value with the you know what I'm saying, because we are gold. We precious gold to the heavenly father, but like the Lord talk about, his dross became silver, so on and so forth, because it got mixed and mingled with all these philosophies and doctrines and beliefs and ideologies of for following after these heathens. So the Lord is going to purify, right, his gold, right, because this is the choice gold that he chose, Israel, you know what I'm saying, it's parabolic as well, you know what I'm saying. He gonna take his choice gold through the fire, and that's how he gonna purify with this word and with this fire, man. And that's how we gonna reach back to that pinnacle we was once at, that the brother Menachia was speaking about, and in reference to the precious gold, man.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, kind of. You can drop it on spirit switch.
Okay.
Drop that.
Drop this.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the one Sirach. Yeah, drop the one Sirach. We still got the one Isaiah 4:1 too.
Yep, and Ophir is basically is actually America, cause when I looked it up, and if I'm mistaken, I heard the apostle go into that too, because that's where Solomon, that's where he had the Canaanites come over here. He had the army of Tyre, you feel me? And he had them come over here and get precious things. You know what I'm saying? That's why those monuments that those Hamites left over here was those big ass heads and shit. But that's what they used to come over here and get the precious resources, you know, the fruits, the turkeys, whatever that America had to offer, man. That's because when you look up Ophir, it says Ophir is a port or region mentioned in the Bible, right? And it says famous for its wealth. And that's one reason why Esau made this a corporation too, man. America, because the wealth and the resources that this country produces, man. The oil, they be selling hella oil from here, these damn Edomites, man. Gold, precious metals, jewelries, you know. It says, and it says, famous for his wealth, King Solomon received a cargo from Ophir every 3 years. Look, and it referenced 1 Kings 10 and 22, so I'm going to go there real quick. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'll
it had a reference of 1 Kings 10 and 22.
Talk about the ships of Tarshish.
There we go. And that's just how we proven to you that Ophir is actually America. Ophir is the ancient name, or the biblical name of this place. You got it.
This is the book of.
Which this place have many names. Don't get us wrong, because you know people they try to twist your words. This place was mentioned as many different names in the scriptures, man. You know.
This is 1 Kings chapter 10 verse 21. It says, and all King Solomon's drinking vessels were gold. It said, and all the vessels of his house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold.
Let's go.
None were of silver. It say it was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. It says, verse 22, for the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Haram. It said, once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish.
There it is.
Gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
Yep, right. And we know from history that it was those Hamites coming over here, of the ships of Tarshish, man. Those damn Hamites and them Canaanites, man. All right, that was in Solomon's army, man. And they came over here to the Americas, got these resources, gold, so on and so forth, and then they brought it back to King Solomon, man.
You got that one, Isaiah?
Yeah, Isaiah 4 and what?
Isaiah 4 and 1.
All right.
Salak, you go to the 3rd chapter.
All right.
Because, hey, if you pay attention to time, a lot of things is about to pop off, a lot of prophecy, man. And one thing that's major been popping since this COVID-19 is war. If you've been paying attention with Iran and United States, tensions have been high, China and everything, because it's going to be a master war.
Turkey, Syria,
all these things.
The Turks and the Kurds, they at war right now.
Yeah. So with war, hey, guess what? You have to ship a lot of men over there for war. So the men that's over here, right? Hey, it's going to be a scarcer men. So a lot of women is going to plead on to that Isaiah 4:1, man.
Hey, can I get something from what you just said?
You got some of the women that's going to be drafted too. Because remember, Trump signed that Draft Our Daughters Act. It was a couple years ago. Some of the women going to go off to war too, man.
Just from what the brother said, the 2nd Esdras 16 and 33, the virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms.
Yeah.
The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
And that when you go back to World War II, that happened too, man. A lot of those men, they got shipped off to war. That's why when you study like World War II, a lot of those women had to take on man labor. You know what I mean? Like a lot of steel factories and stuff like that, they had to take them on. Why? Because the men was being shipped out, man. All right, and a lot of them men, they fucking died over there in World War II, man. You know, and it's gonna happen again. On World War III, man.
Right, and that's building on the point that the brother Monaki making. That's only gonna make our stock rise even more, like he said, bro.
Because
like
a lot of these women ain't gonna want to do these hard work, man. These women don't have the
mentality.
They
don't have it. They right.
A lot of them
destroyed.
A lot of them women, man. You look at the jobs they do now, man. They got white collar jobs, man. They sit at that desk all day and they push papers, man.
Yeah.
You know, they don't do anything that's like actual strenuous or requires a physical labor, man.
That's true.
You know.
So you get that? The Isaiah 3.
All right, Isaiah 3 and
the second two verses, the last two verses.
Oh, okay.
25.
Isaiah 3 and 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground.
Right, and that's a lot of man is going to die over there in this war, man. And this place is going to be very desolate. Because when they shoot these missiles upon this place, it's going to be over with. But keep going. So this the point. Because even with this war, with all this chaos, a lot of these men, they say, man shall, heart shall fail, man. Hey, the strong man shall be made weak, man. So in those days, who's going to be worth commodity? Who's going to be the top dogs? The man of the Lord, man. Because the Lord is going to protect his men. Keep going. Isaiah 4:1.
Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
And that's what these women going to do. Because guess what? Isaiah 32, which the brother's going to get next, is going to come to effect. Many days these women shall be troubled, man. And those things are approaching fast, man. Because, especially when this famine hit, how is they going to eat? And you know women love to eat, man. That's all they do. Talk shit and eat, man.
Eat, sleep, and shit.
So in those days, a precious man of Zion, man, is going to rise.
Right. And I'm going to say this, you don't get gold just by, niggas just don't give you gold. You feel me?
No, it's rare.
Right. Gold is rare, like the brother said. It's hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a give and take. It's got to be a give and take type of situation. You're going to have to bring something to the table. Because because that's how it is with women in this society.
That's
if
right.
a man don't bring nothing to the table, they ask what you got to offer. So that's how the roles is going to be reversed back in their right. Things are going to be put back right side up because everything is upside down. You feel me? So the roles is going to be reversed. You can't just get gold like that, man. You're gonna have to bring something to the table, man.
And that's what makes it worth so much, man. Because it's rare. You know what I mean? It ain't in abundance. When you got things that's not in abundance, that's what causes the stock to rise on it, man. You know what I mean? Because if you go outside, you can just easily get water like that. That's just is everywhere. But gold is not like that. You gotta get it in certain places. Then you gotta purify it. It gotta go through stages, man.
That's right. You know? And that's what the Lord is doing with us. Refining us, making us stronger with wisdom, man. Because it starts with wisdom, man. Hey, when all hell break loose, it's gonna be, it say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. We're gonna know how to maneuver and this and that and those times that we are approaching, man. And they're gonna clean on to us. Take this approach away from us. Keep you got that 32? No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. It says, hear my voice, ye careless daughters. It says, give ear, unto my speech. It says, many days and years shall you be troubled. It say, ye careless women, for the venture shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
And you starting to see that on a wide scale, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, a lot of these women is at ease, man. They depend on the government. Hey, on social media you can make money just rapidly, man. Just shaking your ass, man. GoFundMe.
Fans only.
Yeah. And these women don't have no respect for a man.
Yeah, man.
So wait till all these things get taken away. The internet, these Section 8s. Because in Chicago we got a food stamps, a program. All those things get taken away from you women. And what you gonna do? Because guess what? Hey, for this so-called white man, Esau, he don't set up these things to devaluate the man, so a woman don't have to depend on a man. You just depend on me. But Esau, I tell you in the book of Sirach, after he basically done with your ass, you have no use.
Yeah, Esau, he set up all these like all these fiat currencies, if you will, because that's what it basically devalues actual resources like gold and silver.
Yeah.
When you create a fallacial currency, man.
That's right.
So in our case, he created these fake currencies out here, these fake religions and beliefs, man.
Yeah.
And that basically devalued the worth and the wealth of what we have to offer, starting with the Apostle Elder Great Millstone, which is just truth, this wisdom, understanding, knowledge.
The real way of life.
Right, but by us pulling down these strongholds that this devil has set up to devalue us, now, you know what I'm saying, we pulling down these strongholds, that's making our value and our stock go back up.
That's right.
Because we tearing down all these fake currencies set up in as Christianity and all these different religions.
That's right. Keep going.
I got you. Isaiah 32, verse 11. It says, tremble. It says, tremble. I just want to go make a point too in verse 10. It says, for many days and years shall you be troubled. It says, ye careless women, for the ventures shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Yeah, those ventures, that shit is definitely failing, man. Like brothers talking about like these certain programs that Esau's, giving to you, or certain jobs. Hey, we right now that COVID, that shit is still in the effect. Where a lot of people, brothers already know about the unemployment. It was like up to like 6 point something million.
Yeah, it was up to a lot higher, 30 million.
Okay, it was 30. Okay, all right, okay, Slocky. Well, the unemployment was up there, man. That's part of that vintage failing, man. You know what I mean? Esau, he eventually that deal that you struck with the serpent, it was gonna eventually get cut off, man. Yeah. And we in that process where the Lord, he's bringing that power back to the Israelite man, and rightfully so, man. Because all this shit that these people got now, they don't got nothing to lean on to, man. No. All hell breaking loose, brothers is still stable because of the word, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? These people out here bugging the fuck out, man.
That's right.
I got you. Verse 11, it say, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled. It say, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and girt sackcloth upon your loins.
And that's what the Lord is doing. He's stripping all you women bare from all the things that you Esau gave you, and turning it around on you, man. And you're going to cleave onto them, man. You know why? Now you jump up to verse 1.
I was just about to do that.
That's the spirit.
God, bro. It's Isaiah 32 and 1.
You got it, bro.
God, bro. It says, behold, a king shall reign, and righteousness and princes shall rule in judgment. Verse 2. It says, a man.
And that king talking about Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And we are what? Joint heirs with Yahweh Shai.
Right.
So we're going to have that same stead and that king mentality that the Lord have, man. So we're going to rule in righteousness, and righteousness is starting to come back, man, and rule this earth. And we can't wait. Keep going.
Verse 2. It says, a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest. It says, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, man. You know, so yeah, man, when you in a weary land, you in a dry place.
That's America.
Right.
America is a weary land and a dry place. That's why the Lord talked about He's seen the dry bones in a land. That land was referring to America.
That's right.
So that's the land that is, you know what I'm saying? You in. Read it again. So look.
Good. Verse 2, it says, and a man shall be as in hiding place from the wind.
Yeah, the wind is all the destruction that's about to come. All right. Because the ultimate destruction is going to come in the form of ICBM nuclear fire, man. And it come with a wind, all right? That's what really does all the damage, that wind, that nuclear wind.
It says, and a covert from the tempest.
And a covert, when you go into the word covert, is matter of fact, I got it written down right here.
Secret place.
Yeah, and they say, as a river of water in a dry place.
Yeah, covert, it said being married and therefore protected by one's husband. Right. When you go into the word covert, right? So it says being married and therefore protected by one's husband. So how we gonna be marrying these women out here, man?
No.
That's what Isaiah 4:1, take away our reproach, let us be called by thy name. How a woman take on a man's name? When you marry her. And we know that marriage, going back to the scriptures, is when you basically is right, sexual intercourse, when you be joined, that's what marriage means. Joined together. All right, and that's how you come together, man, through sexual intercourse, man.
Right, because Esau will teach you that in this day, like the wedding reception, that consummates the marriage. That's not what does it.
What consummates the marriage is the honeymoon. That's what you go on the honeymoon for. You know what I'm saying? To consummate the marriage. You know, and consummate basically mean to make it official.
It says, as rivers of water in a dry place.
As rivers of water, right? Because it's the water, right? And the scriptures, the Lord said that in John 7:38, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, right? So it says that's what we got. There's wisdom, understanding, and knowledge in a dry place.
It says, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, man.
Yeah, and it's the dry place. And we are the great rock, and it's the weary land, right? Because we with the Yahushua, like the brother said, because we referred to as a great millstone, man.
Right.
You hear me? Right.
That's right.
And that's what's going to destroy that. That's what's prophesied to take Babylon down, man. The 4 kingdoms that Daniel had to dream about. That rock. So right, you got it.
You good. And I just want to say too, because it's like that's a hell of a comparison. Like the Lord said, we gonna be precious. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you in a dry land place and you need water or shade, like bro, you gonna really want it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And these women, they gonna really want us in that day, man. Especially they see the Spirit of the Lord protecting us, and here it is, everybody else bugging out, and then we cool as a fan over here. You know what I mean? They go like, why y'all cool? Why y'all this? Because when we be on the highways or when brothers be putting up videos and we talking to people, we be explaining to them like, look, this place about to get destroyed. They be wondering why we not worried like them. We not worried because we understand that needs to happen. You know what I mean?
And then also the Lord told you He gave us the spirit of fear. So we ain't gonna fear none of these things, man.
Right.
We're not, and then we ain't scared of death. We understand what death really is, man. That's why a lot of these people scared and complying with Esau and everything, because guess what? This man is in the power seat. He put those things out and how to control. You push fear on top of the people, man. But when we know that the Lord control all things, man, we don't fear those things, man. We fear the Lord.
Yep.
He's the one that can deliver us out these things. He's the one that put us in those things, man, those situations. So as long as we stick with the Lord, we straight. And I got a precept. And it's Sirach 11. Verse 21, it say, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in his labor, for it's an easy thing in the sight of the Lord, sudden to make a poor man rich. And that's easy for the Lord to make a poor man rich. So how much more in this day that we're approaching, and the Lord setting up his true man in the Lord to have everything, right? For women to clean on them. That's nothing for the Lord to do, man. Right. Just like how the Lord brought us into this truth. We was niggas, we was spicks, we came from the bottom, man. And the Lord gave us this knowledge of wisdom, understanding, that made us rich, man. Riches above all things upon this world. You want to ask something, brother?
I got a quick one. Because we're talking about fear and stuff like that. The Lord has not given us the spirit of fear. He's going to 1 Timothy, but I got one. 1 John 4:18. It says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
That's right.
It says, because fear have torment, he that fear is not made perfect in love. So we got perfect love towards the scriptures and toward Yahweh Shem Yahshua. That's why we don't got that spirit of fear, man. You know what I mean? It say perfect love cast out fear. So if you love Yahweh Shem Yahshua and you understand his workings, you not gonna fear, man. I mean, of course, brothers might, because we in the flesh, you might, have those moments where you kind of had that, when your house was in the garden of Gethsemane, you kind of, had that moment.
You get weak.
Yeah, you get weak because we're in the flesh. But ultimately, our spirit is like, bro, we want this shit to happen, man.
Yeah.
It's not a shadow in our doubt in our mind that we like, say to the Lord about destroy this place. We like, oh no, Lord, don't destroy it. No, we want this place to get destroyed, man. This is a wicked ass society, and brothers catching hell from the scripture saying Job 14:1 say men is born of a woman is
in trouble.
Kind, you know what I'm talking about? Because this place, bro, this is totally just wrong, bro. But
I got it for you. This Job 14 verse 1. It say, man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble.
Right, man. Yeah, we full of trouble, man, because we understand that these curses they're upon us, man. And our women they really starting to feel that pressure that we've been feeling, man. Because when you go back to the book of Genesis, when Eve struck that deal with the serpent, the serpent pretty much gave Eve liberty. You know what I mean? Like to break free from her husband, so to speak, man, and just be a lawless beast, man. You know what I mean? But like now they starting to feel it, man. You starting to feel what the Israelite man is feeling, man. You know what I mean? A lot of these women, they taking a lot of money from brothers with the that gotta pay child support and shit like that. But that's okay, because we understand that ultimately we gonna get that victory, man. You know.
At the end, that's right.
At the end, man.
I got something real quick. On the topic of the gold, what is that in I'm gonna just get this real quick. This Wisdom of Solomon 3:6. It said, "As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering." Right. So that's how we're gonna get back to that precious state, man. All right. That's how the Lord is gonna purify his gold. That's how the Lord is gonna purify his elect. All right, through the fire, through the affliction, right, through the things that the brother was just speaking about that we go through on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Childs of women with the childs of pork. You got Esau from 1 to 8. It's these fiery darts of Satan. They be, you know what I'm saying, that they shoot at the perfect continuously, man. Okay, so that's how the Heavenly Father is going to purify his gold by them sticking with, like the brother Canasala said, as long as we stick with the Lord. That's how he's trying us. He letting Satan come at, Monarchy. Did I say that? Oh, Salaki. Come. You know?
Yep. I got one real quick. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 3. It said, "The finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold."
Right.
It says, "For the Lord trieth the hearts," man. It's just like Brother Reuben was talking about, man. The Lord is trying us right now, man. We going through that. Somebody get that in Zechariah 13.
I was just about to get it.
Kind of spirit. The Lord is trying us right now, man. All right, and ultimately, like going back to just bringing the full circle, we gonna get that value back, man, by us going through the spiritual fire right now, man.
That's
So
right.
I'm gonna bring back this verse real quick. Proverbs 17:3. It said, "The finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold," man. So what's that furnace that the Lord taking us to? You got that?
Zechariah 13:8. It said, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein." It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried."
The 2/3 gonna get cut off on this side. They gonna get destroyed in nuclear fire, and the Lord gonna deliver the 1/3, 144,000, the 1/3 through the physical fire. But right now we're gonna do that spiritual fire, man. That spiritual fire is us catching hell, man. Us going through these trials and tribulations. You know, it's all type of shit that brothers be going through, man. You know what I mean? Housing situations, brothers, cars, sicknesses, injuries, brothers, women like leaving them. You know what I mean? That right there, that causes a very I ain't gonna say traumatizing, but it affects you in a very, very
It does.
a very bad way, man. You know what I mean?
That is a traumatizing thing, right? Because our woman was created for us, so that is traumatizing. That's like seeing your child or your child being taken away from you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Real talk.
It's a piece of you, because two flesh shall become one. You know what I mean? So that's, and when you having sex with a woman, y'all literally becoming a part of each other. You know, DNA, swapping and all that shit. You become one. The scripture said it. That's a whole nother level, bro. But that's why when a woman do leave you, you feel a certain way. But just going back to the point, us catching hell right now, that's that fire, man. The Lord is taking us through. But then there is going to be an actual literal fire that the Lord literally is going to beam us out of, man. The Lord's going to take them chairs, and simultaneously as America being destroyed, the elect going to be getting beamed out, man.
That's right. I appreciate it.
It said, "They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord Yahweh is my power."
Because we gonna be in our right mind, man. All right, we get this knowledge back. That's the best thing that can possibly happen to you, man. If you Israelite man, because right now you ain't gonna win on this side. You know what I mean? Jay keep thinking that America will somehow get better, man. It ain't gonna, bro. This ain't gonna get better, man. Even the shit that's going on right now with the COVID. You know what I mean? What's today? April 30th. You know what I mean? 2020.
It's May 1st.
Oh, May 1st. Okay, it's May 1st. It's May 1st. Jake thinking like, oh, all right, man, because shit's supposed to be, they supposed to be opening up the states more. It's not gonna get better even if they do. It's not gonna go back to normal, bro. It's gonna get worse, and then Esau gonna eventually, that vaccine's gonna come, and then eventually, what, he gonna come with the mark of the beast, man, which is the chip, man. Yeah. And that's gonna be all she wrote right there, man. Yeah. The scripture say, then shall be known who are my chosen, man.
That's right. It's more.
No, you got it.
And this Sirach 2, man.
That whole brother got out chapter.
I was just starting one. It said, my son, if we come to serve the Lord, prepare our soul for temptation. And that's what we do, because we're going to be tried. That's what that word temptation is going to be tested, man. And we're going to go through certain tests, through our life and the truth, to be prepared for the things to come. So verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not hasten time with trouble. And that's not what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to man up. Yeah. The Lord told Job, man up, man.
Cut off thy loins as a man.
So we have to be a man when it comes down to certain things, man. And that's what's making us stronger.
Time. And if I can add too, when you go into that word girt, it's pretty much like back in old times, like we had the garments, and then when you girt it up, you fold it in a manner to where it comes up like shorts when you go into that girding. Like you had a garment, and then instead your garment to get in the way, you would gird it up and you would fold it in a particular way to where it becomes like shorts, and now you're able to perform those tasks better, man.
That's
so
right.
When the Lord told him to gird up his loins, man, he's like, look, man, pretty much prepare yourself, man. You know what I mean?
That's right. Say verse 3, say, cleave unto him and depart not away, that there might be increased at the last end, man. And guess what? And we know Job was a representation of Israel, right? And the Lord took everything away from Job. How much more us? But hey, the Lord blessed Job, the latter end of Job, better than the beginning. Because hey, Job had a lot of substance, a lot of women, a lot of family and everything. But guess what? The Lord took all those things away and gave Job even more at the end. And what's more precious the end of this, man? Hey, the Lord is going to increase us. Verse 4, it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when there are changed to a lower state.
And if I can say something on that, it say whatever is brought upon you. Meaning you gotta literally prepare yourself for it. Might be shit happen to where you might lose certain things, carnally. You know what I mean? Or you might, like I said, you might go through anything, a job, whatever the case is. The Lord said, prepare yourself, man, because being in the truth, in the world, they didn't teach you that in church, man. In church, they teach you that prosperity doctrine. You come back to the Lord and everything's, my child, everything's going to be all right, man. Man, that ain't true, man. When brothers found out from the apostles, you know what I mean? They tell us when we first got to the truth, bro, when you get into the truth, you catch more hell, man. Yeah. Here it is, you an Israelite, you already under the curses, but then when you get into the truth, bro, it's like the Lord put more fucking shit on you, bro. You like, damn. But the scriptures say he ain't gonna give us more than we ain't able to bear.
Because when you come to the truth, that's when you wake up to reality. Yeah. Reality is a hard concept to grasp, bro. Real reality, just like the mixture. You know what I'm saying? That's why I knew when Neo first came in there, he was bugging out and shit. He was throwing up. He couldn't believe the fact that this was actually reality that he was witnessing and he was living in and a part of it.
That's why, if I can add, that's why Morpheus, when he threw up and then when he woke up the next day, Morpheus is like, he's like, I'm sorry, we don't wake up a mind after so many years. He says it's dangerous because he said people got a hard time letting go, and that's true. That's why it takes a special soul to come into the truth, because you got to put away so much wickedness that you was doing, man, for X amount of years.
That's right.
And the older you are, like say you a brother, you woke to the truth when you was like maybe in your 30s or whatever, like that, you got to put away 20, 30 years of wickedness, bro. You know what I mean? And we don't do it overnight. Some brothers do, but it's like it's a process, bro. It's a long process, man. That's why the Lord talk about becoming a new creature. Like that is something that the church and stuff like that, they don't teach you, man.
That's right. So verse 5, it say, for gold is tried in a fire, and a subtle man in the furnace of adversity.
And it all come back full circle. You got that.
Gold is tried in the fire, man. You know, and cause why? What is fire? Fire is a cleansing agent. Fire is a purifying agent, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why you boil water. That's why, you know what I'm saying? things like that. It's a purifying agent. That's why, man. That's why we're gonna be brought. Because what the brothers was just talking about, all the years we got in this world compared to the years that we in this truth. So that's why we're gonna be constantly being brought through the fire, because we constantly being cleansed. We constantly being purified and washed from our sins, man.
That's right.
You know. So read that one more time, Bashar.
This is Sirach 2:5. It say, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
An acceptable man in the furnace of adversity, man. You know, and adversity is these things that we, you know what I'm saying, these battles that we go through.
Obstacles.
That's the perfect word. The obstacles, you know what I'm saying? It's like an obstacle course, man. You know what I'm saying?
The Lord might throw this at you. He see how you maneuver through it and how you get through it. He might throw that at you. It's like them temptations. Pretty much Satan will come to you with certain temptations or whatever, and then it's like the Lord, he trying to see if how you handle it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you fail that test, but sometimes, you know, your goal is to try to conquer that temptation. You know what I mean? Because we all know in Galatians the 5th chapter talk about the spirit war against the flesh, man. So it's like that's that constant battle right there, man. In the world, you didn't have to go through that, bro. You was just giving yourself over to the flesh, man. You know, you wasn't trying to fight shit, man. You had that do as thou wilt spirit, man. Y'all got it though.
I got some. This 1 Peter, the 1st chapter, verse 6. It say, wherein ye greatly rejoice, do now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to, in very manifold temptations, man. And we're going to go through certain things, regardless of the fact if you in the truth or not, man. The Lord said that, well, Paul said that, when the Lord returns, you shall receive of your consolation, either it be good or if it be for bad, man. So it's better to go through the truth right now and go through the worst than go through the things that these people about to go through, man. And if we endure, it proves that you that man of the Lord. Verse 7, it say that the trial of your faith being much precious than of gold that perish.
That's right.
Though it be tried with fire, must be found into praise and honor of glory at the appearance of Yahweh Shai, man. And that's what we hope, that we endure these things, and we get all that wickedness and get purified, man. So that when the Lord return, we be counted righteous and worthy to be praised with him, man.
That's why the scriptures talk about being found a chaste virgin, man. You know what I mean? You want to be found.
That's right.
Yeah, you got something?
No, you're right. I'm just agreeing with you.
Okay, you want to be found as that chaste virgin, man. You want to. Matter of fact, if somebody get Ephesians 5, you can start. You can start like the last couple of verses.
Yeah, because if I could add on with the brother saying, as a chaste virgin is what? A virgin is clean, right? She's pure, right? So the Lord, he don't deal with unclean and impurities, man. The Lord don't. You can't be a sacrifice or an offering unto the Lord if you filthy, man. So that's why we constantly gotta go through this fire. You know what I'm saying? And be cleansed, man, and be purified, man.
You
said Ephesians.
Yeah, Ephesians 5. You can get started from 25.
Ephesians chapter 5.
Yeah, because we was talking about being the Lord pretty much having us as a chaste virgin. You know
right.
what I mean? You want to be found worthy. You want to be found
pure, clean,
right?
Clean, you know without blemish, right?
Without blemish. And in this scripture, these verses go into it. Paul was comparing the church of Yahweh Shem Shai to the to pretty much like a woman, how a woman adores her husband. But
right, and gold and these different precious metals, they better without these jewelers and these artisans, they say without impurity. Like a diamond, if it don't got no flaws.
Right.
You can't have no flaws going. Right. So the Lord, that's just like the Lord, if he was picking out his jewelry, man, he picking the choice gold, man.
Right.
He picking the best of the best gold. He ain't finna get some shit that's impure.
Right, and that's what he's doing with the man of the Lord. And that's why we're going to be precious in that day, man. Because we've been going through that trial and that refining stage, man. Which the brother is speaking about. And we about to get, man. Being them chaste virgins of Yahweh Shema Shai. Because you don't want something that's filthy.
Right.
Hey, you want something that's clean. That purified, that you can cherish, man.
That's right.
And that's what the Lord is doing for us.
We got that scripture.
This is Ephesians 5 and 25. It said, husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
Right, because like I said, when you keep going into this parable, Paul was comparing the church to like a woman, how a woman adores her husband, how but being a clean woman, man, being precious. And then he compared. I'm gonna let the scripture speak on that. Yeah, I'm gonna let the scripture speak on that.
Verse 27, that he might present unto himself a glorious church.
You see, he said that he might present it a glorious church. Go ahead.
Not have a spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish.
And that's what the Lord is doing, man.
Right.
This process of us of going through these trials and tribulations, and the Lord is rising back up our stock, going back to the title as men of the Lord, bringing us back to that golden state. You know, making scripture talk about that in Lamentations, how the precious sons of Zion.
Right.
Verse 4.
Yeah. You get 4 and 4 and 4 and 2.
Yeah.
I
I thought about it earlier.
Right, it says, it says, but that it should be holy without blemish. And if I can say this, what makes us holy, man? All right, this word, right? It is what separates us, because the Greek word for holy is santos, which goes back to the word what? That's where you get the word saints. In the Greek and in the Latin, it goes back to the word santos, which in the Hebrew it goes back to the word what? Kodash, which means holy or set apart. So that's what makes us holy and sets us apart from these other metals. All right, the world has to offer, so to speak.
You got it.
It said, verse 28, sought out men to love their wives as their own bodies.
Keep going.
So like it says, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself.
Keep going.
For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourish it and cherish it, even as the Lord Yahweh, the church.
Keep going.
For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Hamashiach and the church.
So that comparison of a woman and a husband, Paul was making that comparison of how the Yahweh Shai in the church. You know, that's why what you just read that last verse, it says this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Hamashiach, the church, you know what I mean, and the church. So he made that comparison of how a woman and a man, how they come together and they love each other. He was making that comparison with a man in Yahweh Shem Shai. That's what the 31st verse was going. The 31st verse and 32nd verse is going into, man. It's like I said, that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be found as that chaste virgin, man. You know what I mean? And Jake right now, don't understand what's going on right now, but the brothers, we understand. That's why we out there, man.
Yeah.
You know? That was it. Yeah, kind of.
This Lamentations 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the scepter are poured out in the top of every street.
Yeah, and the gold became dim because it basically gathered all those impurities. That's how the gold became dim, and the gold was referring to who? The whole house of Israel, right? The southern and the northern kingdom, man. All right, so that's how the gold became dim, because we started following Christianity. We started following out the Islam. You hear me? We started following out all these, religions and all these heathens. These heathen customs, traditions, they pagan rituals and holidays, man. That's how the Lord's gold became dim.
Because remember, we looked at as that woman. Jeremiah 6 and 2. We looked at as that woman. You know what I mean? So when Jake started worshiping them other idols and those religions and shit like that, like the brother saying, that's when Jake started to be. They were pretty much like a woman having sex with a lot of men. And like us as a nation, the Lord compared us to a woman. We was committing adultery.
Right.
We was going, from
Horn.
here to there. Yeah, horn, man. You know what I mean? And Jake
playing a harlot.
Yeah, playing a harlot. That's why, like I said, I quoted Jeremiah 6 chapter 8. The Lord was talking about that, man. And then he said, when a woman leaves, then come back, shall you not find our land greatly polluted.
Polluted.
You got it right.
I appreciate real quick. This is Lamentations 2 and 15. All that all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, this is the city that man called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth. And that's what they have done, man. And these nations and these enemies, look for this day, for Jerusalem to fall. We was the joy of the earth, the beauty of the Lord, man. And now look at us now. We destroyed as a nation, man. Through, man.
You got it. That's why it said, is this the people? You know what I mean?
They was asking a question.
Yeah, they like
a rhetorical question.
Goddamn, bro. You know, because we not on the outside looking in, like, you know, from like sure talk about how the Lord he don't look on the outward appearance, but the inward. When people see us, you know what I mean, like we look like, you know, we look ragtag, so to speak, you know what I mean, like brothers be having rough garments and shit like that, brothers, you know, the rough beards, no liners. We don't look like the Lord's chosen people.
Right, because
you know
we're supposed to personify the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be a representation of the Lord. That's why we don't look like the Lord's people, because our people not representing the Lord the way they're supposed to be represented.
Right.
That's why we don't look like the people, because our people smoking blunts,
they
got their pants hanging out there, they hanging at corner stores and shit, standing at the gas station, selling drugs to their own mama and chasing a bag and shit.
Yeah.
That's why we don't look like look at this shit that our people is doing.
Yeah, and in other nations they like
no, there's no way.
They like hell no. You see a Jake like walk in like just go to a corner store and you just see Jake, bro. Like the brother saying, the pants sag, you know what I mean? The eyes just hella yellow. Like, bro, Jake be fucking gone, bro. But it's different when you see brothers though. Like that's why the vibe is just totally different, bro.
Right, bro.
When you meet brothers, like the aura is just like you like, whoa, you know.
Yep.
You know, you can tell, bro. Yeah.
Royalty.
That's why our brothers be going out. You know what I mean? They like, yo, wow, man. Like me and the
That's why a lot of brothers. That's why a lot of people be so astonished when they see us.
Yeah.
They be like, cause they see how we salute brothers and everything, and how we carry ourselves.
Right, bro. That's right, man.
Verse 16, it say, all the enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gas their teeth. They said, we have swallowed her up. Concerning this is the day that we look for. We have found it. We have seen it, man. And that's what they wanted. They tell you in Psalms 83 that they conspire against the nation of Israel. And that's what they do. They plot on us and destroy us as a nation, man. So that we can't cleave on back to the Lord, our precious Lord, to bring us up. But the ones that in the truth, we are doing that, man. And that's why we're going to be made precious in the sight of the Lord. So back in this Lamentations 4, and 2, it say, the precious sons of Zion compared to fine gold.
There it is. The precious sons of Zion, right? From Judah all the way down to Issachar, the Mexicans, they Israelites. Puerto Ricans, they Israelites. You feel me? The Colombians, the Panamanians, the Brazilians, they Israelites. The Jamaicans, the Haitians, they Israelites, man. If you hear me, the Badmans over there, they Israelites, bro.
And for people that saying that the Northern Kingdom they're not Israelites, bro. You never hung around.
You don't got no salt.
You got no salt, bro. You know what I mean? You deal with it. It's
you can't see the flavor.
Bro, you can't. Come on, bro.
Look how they cook.
Look how they cook.
Look how they cooking. Right. That one thing alone, man. The way that they cook, bro. Yeah, they don't cook like fucking heathens.
Yeah, they cook like Jake, man.
That's right.
It's the same Jake, and we eat the same shit, man.
They put their foot in that shit.
Damn right, bro. You ain't lying, man. You gotta know.
They say verse 2, the precious son of Zion compared to fine gold. How they esteem as earthly platter, the worst of the hands of the potter.
Yeah. So the Lord pretty much like how did you become? Here it is. I compared you to gold, but how you like a whole different that earthen vessel. When you compare gold to like wood and all the other shit, it don't compare. So Jake fell on a totem pole, so to speak, man. They went from here being the sons of God and ruling and having prestige and like that level of prestige that Jake went from, and now look at us, bro. That's why the Lord said, how did you become? We did draw silver now. Well, not the brothers, but the nation, man. That worthless silver, man. But anyway. With that, we give our praise and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. All right, double honors to our apostle, Elder Millstone. All right, salutations to the hopeful elect out there, teaching the word in truth and sincerity. Bible ball, man.
Shalom.